Hi, my name is Tiana Karamayas and I'm a Cavoodle puppy coach and breeder for Noodle Way and River City Puppies. As a coach, my philosophy is simple. A Cavoodle should always complement your lifestyle, not complicate it. And this is the foundation to everything I teach. For almost the past decade, I have been working in the breeding, training, grooming, and veterinary sectors of the small animal industry. I've also been raising Cavoodles for the past 16 years, so I have definitely learned a thing or two about the breed along the way. Now this podcast is all about Cavoodles. Raising Cavoodles, training Cavoodles, grooming Cavoodles, breeding Cavoodles, and how to shape the behavior of a Cavoodle puppy. So, if you're a Cavoodle parent or you are looking at adding a Cavoodle to your family soon, then this podcast is for you. New episodes will be released each Tuesday morning, and you can follow me across all social media under the name @OodleWay for more tips and advice on Cavoodles. Thanks for tuning in. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Cavoodle Coach podcast where we are going through some Cavoodle basics. And my name is Tiana Karamayas. I'm your Cavoodle puppy coach, and what we are going to be talking about is whether or not Cavoodles are good family dogs. Now, this is one of the most common questions Googled when people are asking about Cavoodles, so obviously it's on your mind. So I thought I would give you my 2 cents as a Cavoodle puppy coach. So, are Cavoodles good family dogs? On a basic level, let's just say yes. They are a wonderful, wonderful family dog. And the reason being they are very intelligent, gentle, affectionate, lower energy, small dogs. And so they really do suit a family's lifestyle, especially when they want their dog to be living in their home. If you want more information on what a Cavoodle is and you're wondering what exactly makes up a Cavoodle, go back to the last episode and you can have a listen there. But what I want to do now is I want to go a little bit deeper into this topic, a little bit deeper into this question about the Cavoodle and what to expect from them and their temperament within the home if you were going to get a Cavoodle. So, with a Cavoodle, whenever we look at a breed of dog and you're wanting to know what their temperament is like, what their personality is like, the first thing you have to do is you have to look at the original breed purpose of the dog, because whatever the dog was originally bred for will give you an indication of what their temperament and what their personality is like. And so when we look at a Cavoodle is a mix between a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel and a poodle, toy or miniature sized poodle. And so when we go and look at the original breed purpose of the poodle back in the day were originally bred as hunting dogs. And what would happen is the hunters would go out hunting and they'd take their poodles and they would shoot down birds or they would try and shoot rabbits, and the poodle would go and fetch the birds for the hunters or chase the rabbits into the rabbit holes to chase the bunnies out to get them to come to the ground level so that the hunters can shoot them. And so the poodle was actually a very intelligent, very smart dog, and they were a hunting breed. And that's the first thing we have to think. What we can understand from that is that a Cavoodle, which is essentially half poodle, are going to be very intelligent, and they're going to need a certain amount of mental stimulation within their day because of that intelligence level and because they are able to understand us very, very easily compared to some other breeds of dogs like the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. So if we go to the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel now and we look at the original breed purpose of the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, and this one here really makes me laugh every time I read it, but the original breed purpose of the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel was to sit on the laps of kings and queens in drafty castles to keep them warm. That was the original breed purpose of the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. And if you have ever met a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, you will understand why this is the case and why it rings true. They are a very placid, gentle, low energy breed. And so when we mix that into a Cavoodle, we can expect some of these traits to come into the Cavoodle, sorry. And so when we ask the question, are Cavoodles good family dogs? The answer is yes, they absolutely can be if we get the right temperament traits from the Poodle breed and the Cavalier breed. So in a dream scenario, and for the reason why Cavoodles were originally bred, what breeders were trying to do was get the intelligence of the Poodle plus their lack of hair loss, bring it into this new breed of dog, and then take the gentle, placid, low energy temperament of the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, mix it in with the intelligence of the Poodle, and ideally create this very intelligent, low shedding, calm, placid, affectionate, small breed dog to be well suited to a family's lifestyle. And with that dream scenario in our minds, absolutely, we can see that a Cavoodle would be a fantastic family dog, because a family, usually if they have children, or if they are elderly, or if they are just two people in the family, whatever the case, a lot of families really crave that small dog who will sit on the couch with them at night, will go on a walk with them, is very loyal, very affectionate, will give them lots of love, but nothing too hard to meet their energy levels. Nothing too energetic, nothing too big, nothing that loses too much hair, nothing that's going to run around jumping and biting and chewing your furniture. Just a calm little dog who will give you cuddles and will go on a walk with you when you want to go. And that's what a lot of families want. And if we look on paper, that is what a Cavoodle can provide to a family. They can absolutely provide all of those temperament traits, because that's what we ideally are getting from the Poodle and the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. However, you'll notice that as I'm talking here, I'm saying ideally. This is what we are trying to get out of a Cavoodle. The reality is, unfortunately, the Cavoodle breed is still young. And so when a breed of dog is still young, and when they are still a crossbreed, what it means is there's not yet enough consistency within the breed and their temperament and the physical appearance for them to be identified as a purebred dog in a country. So what that means is, for a Cavoodle, there can be some variations when a litter is born. So not every puppy in the litter is going to look 100% similar, and not every puppy in the litter is going to have the exact same personality traits. Whereas if you were to breed a litter of Labradors, for example, they all come out looking the same, and they all have very, very similar personalities. But with a Cavoodle, though, because it's a crossbreed, because it's still a young breed of dog that's only been bred really for the past 10 to 15 years, they've been gaining a lot of popularity. There's just not that consistency yet. And so when we ask the question, are Cavoodles good family dogs? It's yes, with an asterisk. And if you want to get the Cavoodle that is a good family dog, then what you have to do is you have to find yourself a Cavoodle breeder who follows a curriculum program when they raise the dogs, the litter of puppies. And through that curriculum program, it really focuses on shaping and molding the puppy's behaviors to be intelligent, focused, calm, confident, and then also ensuring that that curriculum plan that the breeder is following also includes something called temperament testing. And when a breeder follows a curriculum program, two very common ones that a lot of breeders of Cavoodles follow is called puppy culture and the empowered breeder program. Those are two very popular ones. When a breeder follows those programs and they do temperament testing, what it means is when the puppies reach at least 6 weeks of age, the breeder then does temperament testing on every puppy in the litter. And within that temperament test, the breeder is able to identify the energy levels of each puppy. They're able to identify the confidence levels of each puppy. They're able to identify which puppies are going to really crave your attention and need a family home all day versus the puppies who are happy on their own. And it's going to start to flesh out these different personality traits of the Cavoodle puppies in the litter, and then the breeder can match the right puppy with the right temperament traits to your lifestyle. And when we match the right temperament traits with the right lifestyle, that gives you a good family dog. That will give you the dog you are dreaming of, rather than just blindly picking a puppy based on the color and the gender, and then not actually knowing, okay, has this puppy inherited more of the higher energy from the poodle or the lower energy from the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel? Is this puppy a very eager, quick learner like the poodle? Or are they a little bit slower and need a lot more encouragement to listen like the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel? And depending on which traits they have, it'll let you know whether or not it's the right right puppy for your family's lifestyle. What we don't want to see is a family who decide to get a Cavoodle and then they are working 9 till 5 every day, the kids are at school every day, and their Cavoodle has a really high human motivation level. And what this means is the Cavoodle craves attention and interaction and direction from humans. And if that puppy is left alone all day long without any of that, because the family is working 9 till 5 and the kids are at school, what it means is that puppy can develop some serious separation anxiety. And when a puppy has separation anxiety, what it means is they are feeling very anxious when they're on their own. And when a puppy is feeling anxious on their own, they can start to run around, chew things, bark, dig, cry all day, have toileting accidents all throughout the house, and they really just completely freak out and they're unable to cope. And so we can't have a Cavoodle who really, really craves that attention from humans be placed in a family who is never home. It just won't work out. And so the answer to the question, are Cavoodles good family dogs? Like I said, it's yes, with a little asterisk, because we have to make sure that we are going a step further and we are working alongside a breeder to make sure you're getting the right puppy with the right temperament traits for your family's lifestyle. If there is a mismatch between the temperament traits and lifestyle, your puppy will not be happy, your puppy will not be feeling content and fulfilled, and you will struggle with a naughty puppy. Not because they're trying to be naughty, but because you are not meeting their personality and temperament requirements. So this is really important. If we can make sure we match them right up, match the right temperament to the right lifestyle, Cavoodles are the most amazing family dogs, and they have amazing personalities, and they are going to bring you so much joy and so much happiness and so much comfort. You just have to make sure you are able to meet whatever personality traits they have taken from the Poodle and the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. So again, this whole series is about answering these very basic questions and going pretty surface level with the answers. If you are sitting here and you are wanting to hear more about this topic and you're wanting to dive deeper into the temperament and the personality traits of a Cavoodle and understanding the training that they need, please scroll back through my podcast. Outside of this little series that I'm starting, I have gone into a lot of depth and a lot of detail into a lot of different topics around Cavoodles. I am a Cavoodle puppy coach. I have studied their behavior inside and out. And there is a lot more to it. So you can scroll back and listen to some other episodes like that. But the purpose of these episodes right now in this little series is just to answer some questions quite quickly in short bite-sized episodes so a family can start getting an overarching idea on what to expect from the Cavoodle. So that's the end of this episode. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I will be back again next week with another episode answering another common question about the Cavoodle breed. This has been your Cavoodle coach, Tiana Karamayas. I'll see you later. Bye.